Welcome to the fifth meeting in 2026 of the Delegated Powers and Law Reform Committee. I'd like to remind everyone to please switch off or put to silent mobile phones and other electronic devices. The first item of business is to decide whether to take items 6 and 7 in private. Is the committee content to take these items in private? Yes. Under agenda item number 2, we're considering instruments subject to the affirmative procedure. In relation to the draft Community Care, Personal Care and Nursing Care Scotland Amendment Regulations 2026, the Draft Budget Scotland Act 2025, Amendment Regulations 2026, the Draft Absent Voting Miscellaneous Amendment Scotland Order 2026, the Draft Absent Voting Miscellaneous Amendment Scotland Regulations 2026, the Draft Civic Government Scotland Act 1982, Licensing of Skin Piercing and Tattooing Amendment Order 2026, the Draft Public Services Reform Scottish Water Order 2026, the Draft Renewables Obligation Scotland Amendment Order 2026, and the Draft Council Tax Variation for Unoccupied Dwellings Scotland Amendment Regulations 2026. Is the committee content that no reporting grounds are engaged? Yes. Under agenda item number 3, we're considering instruments subject to the negative procedure. In relation to SSIs 2026, 17, 18, 19 and 23, is the committee content that no reporting grounds are engaged?
Yes.
Under agenda item number 4, we're considering an instrument not subject to any parliamentary procedure. In relation to SSI 2026-24, is the committee content that no reporting grounds are engaged? Yes. Okay. Under agenda item number 5, we're considering the Contract Formation and Remedies Scotland Bill at Stage 2. We're joined today by the Minister for Victims and Community Safety, Siobhan Brown MSP, and 3 Scottish Government officials. Welcome, Minister, and to your officials. Can I remind the Minister's officials that they cannot participate in any Stage 2 proceedings, but they can communicate with the Minister directly. And I will briefly explain the procedure we will be following during today's proceedings for anyone watching. Members should have with them a copy of the bill, the marshalled list and the groupings. These documents are available on the bill webpage on the Scottish Parliament's website for anyone observing. We have 17 amendments to consider and dispose of for this bill. I'll call each amendment individually in the order of the marshalled list. The groupings of amendments set out the groupings of amendments set out the amendments in the order in which they will be debated. There will be one debate on each group of amendments. In each debate, I'll call the Minister to move and speak to the first amendment in the group and to speak to all other amendments in the group. I will then call any members who wish to speak in that debate. The members wishing to speak should indicate that they want to do so by catching my or the clerk's attention. And finally, I'll call the Minister to wind up. I'll then put the question on the first amendment. I'll then move through each amendment on the marshalled list until we reach the next group. If there is a division, only committee members are entitled to vote, and I will call for members to vote first yes, and then call for members to vote no, and then for any abstentions. Clerks will then collect the vote and pass them to me to read out and confirm the result. If there is a tie, I must exercise a casting vote. The committee is also required to consider and decide in each section of the bill and the long title, and I'll put the question on each of these provisions at the appropriate point. So, with that, we'll move to the marshalled list. So, first of all, I'm going to call Amendment 1 in the name of the Minister, grouped with amendments as shown in the groupings. And the Minister to move Amendment 1 and speak to all amendments in the group. Minister.
Good morning, Committee, and thank you, Convener. First of all, can I just thank the Committee and all the stakeholders for all their comments on the bill as introduced. I believe that the amendments that I have brought forward address a number of these comments and will make the bill stronger as a result. Moving on to amendments 1, 2, 5 to 10, 1, 2 and 5 to 10 respond to the comments made by Dumfries and Galloway Council, which stated in section 2 the terms formation and conclusion are used interchangeably. I agree that a more consistent term can be used be usefully used throughout Part 1 of the bill, and these amendments do that, preferring the term formation throughout. Moving on to amendment number 3. The committee asks the Scottish Government to consider the drafting point raised in the written evidence of Professor Bogle and Tom Johnson regarding Section 2.2, and it said that Section 2.2 is overly verbose, and having considered the drafting in light of those comments, I have brought forward Amendment 3 to simplify that provision. Amendment number 4 concerns Section 2 of the bill. It provides that whether a contract exists is to be determined from the statements and conduct of the parties. So long as the parties are agreed on the necessary content, then there can be a contract even though the parties are continuing to negotiate on other matters that might be relevant to their transaction. There might be circumstances, though, in which parties want to agree all matters before forming a contract, and so subsection 3 allows parties to a contract to specify in advance matters on which there needs to be agreement before any contract is formed. The Law Society is concerned about the drafting of Section 2.3 of the bill because it thinks there is a risk that this could apply to situations where one party subjectively intends not to contract prior to agreement on a certain point. It has suggested that Section 2.3 be amended to include the need for some form of express communication on agreement. So Amendment 4 does this by making it clear that the party specifying the essential matters of a contract must do so explicitly. Finally, Convener, moving on to the last amendment in this group, which is Amendment number 11. Section 13.1 provides that any notification in relation to formation of contract takes effect when it reaches the person being the addressee. However, by virtue of subsection 2, it is subject to any time limit for acceptance referred to in section 11.1a. As currently drafted, though, it is not subject to 11.1b. So section 11.1b says that where no time frame for acceptance is stated, and acceptance is only effective if it occurs within a reasonable time after the notification of the offer that has taken effect. The effect of this is that in general acceptances must be notified to the offerer within any time limit stated in the offer, but where there is no stated time frame. It would be possible for an acceptance to be effective where it may have been communicated unreasonably late. So Amendment number 11 prevents this anomaly, so that for an acceptance to be effective to form a contract, either it must be notified within any time limit stated in the offer or within reasonable time. So I move Amendment 1 in my name, and I ask members to support my other amendments in this group, Convener. Thank you. Happy to take any questions.
Thank you. Do members have any questions? Yeah. Jeremy?
I'm grateful. I didn't want to intervene on you, Minister, because you were on full flow. But there was some concern raised in regard to negotiations between maybe a smaller party and a bigger party. And obviously, one of the amendments you're looking at is allowing bits of a contract to be agreed before other parts. I'm just looking for reassurance that you're not concerned that a smaller player will be affected by this in any way.
So far there's been no concerns that have been raised with me in relation to this. I know my officials have reached out to stakeholders and to members ahead of this, but if any member does have any concerns that they'd want to highlight to me ahead of stage 3, I'm happy to discuss it. But at this stage, there's been no concerns raised, so I am content.
I'm grateful. Thank you, Minister.
Thank you. Anyone else? No. Okay. Minister, would you like to wind up?
No, thank you. I'll just press.
Okay, thank you. So the question is, Amendment 1 be agreed to. Are we all agreed? Yeah. Yep. Okay. The question is, that Section 1 be agreed to. Are we all agreed? Yes. Call Amendments 2, 3, 4 and 5, all in the name of the Minister, and all previously debated with Amendment number 1. I invite the Minister to move Amendments 2 to 5 on block. Does any member object to a single question put to Amendments 2 to 5? No. Okay, thank you. Okay. Minister?
Moved en bloc.
Okay, thank you. The question is that amendments 2 to 5 are agreed to. Are we all agreed? Yes. The question is that section 2 be agreed to. Are we all agreed? Yes. I call amendment 6 in the name of the Minister, already debated with amendment number 1. I'll ask the Minister to move formally.
Move formally, convener.
Okay, thank you. The question is amendment number 6 be agreed to. Are we all agreed? Yes. I call amendment number 7 in the name of the Minister, already debated with amendment number 1. I ask the Minister to move.
Moved, convener.
Thank you. The question is that amendment number 7 be agreed to. Are we all agreed?
Yes.
The question is that section 3 be agreed to. Are we all agreed?
Yes.
The question is that sections 4 and 5 be agreed to. Are we all agreed?
Yes.
I call amendments 8, 9 and 10, all in the name of the Minister and all previously debated with amendment number 1. I invite the Minister to move amendments 8 to 10 en bloc. Does any member object to a single question being put to amendments 8 to 10?
No.
Thank you. The Minister, can the Minister formally move?
Formally moved en bloc, convener.
Thank you. So the question is that amendments 8 to 10 are agreed to. Are we all agreed?
Yes.
The question is that section 6 be agreed to. Are we all agreed?
Yes.
The question is that sections 7 to 12 be agreed to. Are we all agreed?
Yes.
I call amendment 11 in the name of the Minister, already debated with amendment number 1. Ask the Minister to move.
Move, convener.
And the question is that amendment 11 be agreed to. Are we all agreed?
Yes.
The question is that section 13 be agreed to. Are we all agreed?
Yes.
The question is that sections 14 and 15 be agreed to. Are we all agreed?
Yes.
I call amendment 12 in the name of the Minister, grouped with amendments 13, 14, 15, 16 and 17. I ask the Minister to move amendment 12 and speak to all amendments in the group.
Thank you, convener. Beginning with amendment number 13 in this group, section 18 to 21 of the bill define a new remedy of return of benefits received after rescission, termination of a contract for material breach. Section 19 sets out rules on the valuation of a non-money benefit that is not returnable by the recipient under section 18.6 and 7. When determining the value which must be paid in lieu of returning an item for a service, the valuation of the item or service is assessed at the time of the party's performance, providing that benefit section 19.2. Additional guidance is provided in subsections 3 and 4. The present formulation of section 19.2 appears to infer that the party seeking restitution must show that it has performed the whole of the obligation incumbent upon it before its claim can succeed. This goes too far, in my view, as what is recoverable is any performance insofar as it's not been reciprocated by the recipient in accordance with the contract, and accordingly my amendment 13 removes the words of the obligation. Moving on to remaining amendments in the group, I'm pleased to bring forward these amendments which will restate and reform the law of retention. The amendments build on the work undertaken by the SLC and separately by Lorna Richardson of the University of Edinburgh. In 2018, the SLC said that while the law of retention needs some clarification, it should be left for the courts to do so. But by 2024, their position had changed and stakeholders agreed that legislation was needed to bring clarity to the law. The Scottish Government consulted on the scheme for reform of retention, and my amendments 14 to 17 give effect to that. I know that at stage 1 there was a question about whether the provisions would be default, and Amendment 12 is clear on the principle of party autonomy and has the effect that the provisions of contractual retention are default rules. It is therefore open to parties to provide their own different rules or fall back on these default rules. I've considered the drafting suggestions to improve the bill and I wrote to the committee ahead of today's session to set out my views. I believe that my Amendment 17 addresses the concerns that was raised by the Law Society and Dr. Hamish Patrick about particular transactions, as to the comments made by the RIAS, and I believe the amendments address the concerns there as well. Convener, I move Amendment 12 in my name, and I ask that members support this amendment and my others in this group.
Okay, thank you, Minister. And the members have any questions? No. Okay. So the question is that, oh sorry, the Minister would like to wind up.
No, not wind up.
Okay, thank you. And the question is that Amendment 12 be agreed to. Are we all agreed? Yes. The question is that Section 16 be agreed to. Are we all agreed? Yes. The question is that Sections 17 and 18 be agreed to. Are we all agreed? Yes. I call Amendment 13 in the name of the Minister, already debated with Amendment number 12. Ask the Minister to move.
Move, Convener.
The question is that Amendment 13 be agreed to. Are we all agreed?
Yes.
The question is that Section 19 be agreed to. Are we all agreed?
Yes.
The question is that Sections 20 and 21 be agreed to. Are we all agreed?
Yes.
I call Amendments 14, 15, 16 and 17 all in the name of the Minister and previously debated with Amendment number 12. I invite the Minister to move Amendments 14 to 17 en bloc.
Moved en bloc, Convener.
Okay. Does any member object to a single question being put on Amendments 14 to 17?
No.
Okay, thank you. The question is that Amendments 14 to 17 are agreed. Are we all agreed?
Yes.
Okay. The question is that Sections 22 to 26 be agreed. Are we all agreed?
Yes.
The question is that the long title be agreed to. Are we all agreed?
Yes.
Okay, and that ends the Stage 2 consideration of the bill. I'd just like to thank you, Minister, and your officials for this morning. And that now concludes the public part of the meeting today, and I will allow the Minister and officials to leave the room and then move to the committee into private. So thank you very much.